from scratch. What we call
the architect.
So that there'll be no break in the community service.
Let's begin with a drum set.
That's right. Architect, what's up, though?
It's a big head. How you going? Good morning. Good to meet you. I'm Luke from Deep Space, founder of Deep Space, one of the founding members. And yeah, I'm excited to be here, excited to talk to you. I'm going to just basically show AI-generated slides and talk about cliches. So see what you can get out of that. But no, seriously, Deep Space, let's start taking you on the journey with us a little bit here. First thing I learned, don't fall in love with your own creation. So some of these are going to be my personal lessons that I've learned, that every day I wake up and go, have I learnt this lesson still? And this is one because in startups, you build something cool, it's exciting, you start going down as, I can build things, I can make things, somebody likes it, one person, and then you're like, what happens next? And so you start to really fall in love with that creation. And so one of the best tips I ever got from somebody was, look, you can't do that. You have to be looking at the market. You have to be trying to establish that product to market fit, and you can't fake it. You cannot fake product market fit. You can go, this is a wonderful piece of product, it collects data, it has analytics, it does AI, it does that, it works on massive projects, but if you do not have enough people who care, it just doesn't matter. Your customers do not care about your little baby. They care about solving their problems. And so, sorry if I'm being too preachy, but basically, you can run fast in the wrong direction as a startup founder, right? And we've done it. We said, there's a massive opportunity in Saudi Arabia, we've got this awesome product, we'll go over there, we'll start selling it. We made some sales, but basically the amount of effort and energy to do that kind of initiative, it takes you away from where you want to be. And where we want to be is in Australia, working with Australian construction companies, solving real problems. And so we've learnt this lesson a few times, and it helps us to get where we are today as well. There's a lot of hype out there, a lot of hype in tech and startups, isn't there? And a lot of things that are the next big thing, and then they're suddenly gone. Digital twins, the metaverse, all these things like this. I lived through a few of these in construction. We had something called BIM, which is like a 3D modeling thing. Then we had digital twins, and everything was going to transform, the world. But basically, it didn't have enough of an impact in real construction, in the day-to-day of building something and getting it done. And so you got to just be so careful of these hype cycles. And this is just the kind of thing that we've seen these slides over and over again. And you're like, don't put that slide up again. But basically, there's hype, and then there's disillusionment, and then there's dead startups. And you don't want to be one of those, right? So why is construction important? Why is construction important? Because construction is society, right? We're in a building. We are born in a building. We travel in a building. We go to an airport to go to a plane. We live in buildings, right? Construction is society. In Australia, even more so than in other places. Your uncle's a tradie. Your brother's an electrician. Your whole family is probably involved in construction in some way, right? So if construction in Australia goes down or is negatively affected, our whole society is negatively affected. If we have a housing shortage, we're negatively affected. So construction is a super, super important industry, and really our entire identity and our society is connected to it. So what problem are we solving? Basically, we've got now hundreds of customers that we've talked to who have the same repeatable problem, which is that they have too much technology that is disconnected, they have too many point solutions, and it's a nightmare, right? Now this problem, it affects all of construction, but there's a specific part of the market that it really affects the most, which is mid-sized commercial. You've got your tier one builders, your lend leases and so on. They've got so many people trying to maintain so much software, and it's very hard for a startup to penetrate. Then you've got your residential guys where they can afford maybe $50 a month for some bit of software on some app, but really that's not a big enough problem, right? Mid-sized commercial construction has very unique challenges. Challenges around managing subbies, managing financials, keeping track day by day on compliance issues like safety. And this guy is the guy that we talk to every single day. This is who we're calling, this is who we're booking meetings with, and and he's telling us, I've got these problems, I've got too much software, I'm trying to build something, I can't even get 10 minutes to have a meeting with you half the time. And so it's actually really exciting for us because we have found this repeatable problem and we have the answer. But this is not the answer, more tech, right? Because in construction, they already have too much. Every incumbent has become lazy in construction tech, and the startups have, by far the majority, focused on doing very narrow point solutions because they're easy to build and easy to implement and become a nightmare for the customer the next day. And so that is what we are working against. That is a problem that Deep Space is solving, is we are starting to delete point solutions from our customers. We're starting to put it into one place that's connected, where from the moment that you're chasing a job to the moment that you walk away and you're fully paid from your customer, it's been run through that one platform. How do we get there is with focus. Now, as a founder, you're shifting from marketing to sales to development, and you're just constantly context shifting. It's very, very hard, right? But in a business, you cannot really make good progress doing that. So we have learned, again, the hard way, that focus is the vital thing. So no matter what role you're in, you should just be completely obsessed with being successful in that role. Our CEO, Ricky Sefter, many of you probably know him, a big part of Simpro journey. He spent a number of really intensive days and nights obsessing over the customer that we had now identified and working up a prototype himself. He was just in this focused mindset that has now become the driver for a lot of our success. And so he set the example then of focus, and I have now tried to mirror that, and the whole business is becoming like that, where each person has a very specific focus, and that's how we're now starting to kick more goals, which is how we end up with Deep Space. From the blueprint, from the plans to the handover, every single step, from managing your interactions with your customers. So builders have to win jobs, so they've got to have a CRM in the product. They've got to chase down opportunities. They've got to bid on them. They've got to go and get subbies. They've got to engage those subbies. They've got to manage the progress claims. All of that part is in Deep Space, managed in a sequential, logical, ordered, connected fashion. And the customer has more visibility than they've ever had, particularly around the financials. And that's where the key thing is, right? Why do we see construction companies failing? As the bank is dipping down, down, down till they can't pay everybody, the business falls over. And that's because they're very busy building things, and it's very hard to keep track of all the financials and keep everything connected. And so that is a key problem that we've worked on, is making sure that that part is easy and simple for our customers. The alternative just cannot be tolerated. In construction, we're building the Olympics. Australia has a massive need for more optimized, more efficient construction. We cannot keep doing things the old way. We can't keep doing things in a disconnected way. We have to be doing things in a futuristic way, but it still has to be real. It has to be achievable. It has to be something where that builder, that project manager wakes up, he looks at Deep Space, he sees what he needs to do. The system has automated a bunch of checks for him. It has helped him focus in on a particular problem area across multiple projects, and he is now solving that, and he's moving on. So we're empowering the human. And that's really what AI is about, right? It's about being able to consume large amounts of data, help me to find what I need to do as a human while we still have jobs. That's really what we are doing with AI. So our vision is that we believe the best way to improve construction and improve the lives of people in construction is by connection, by putting everything together, by connecting up that whole life cycle of construction and all the individuals and stakeholders within it. Those subcontractors, the builders, the clients have a client portal. They can log in, they can see if their building how it's progressing, all these type of things, managing the claims. So that is deep space. I hope it wasn't too boring. I hope it wasn't too many cliches, but construction is society, right? Construction is awesome. And Australia is very good at construction, but it has problems. And we're working to solve them. We are enjoying every single minute of it. I'd love to talk to you guys more after. But construction is society, and deep space is the future of construction.